Welcome back to my online tutorials. Today I'm going to be talking about Obsidian MD and my world building content that I have out on GitHub. I will put this URL in the description below the video so you can easily find it. But basically today we're going to be talking about settlements, wards or districts, professions, and NPCs. So basically I have a whole bunch of pre-generated content out here. A collection of empty settlement templates. I've got some inline scripts that will work, that we'll go through today. They're under the settlement inline directory. I've got a collection of wards, about 500 wards, just random named wards, just so you can easily pull something in. Professions, I've got about 1,300 professions in this collection, basically 10 of each profession. You don't need all of those if, depending on how many you use, and some you may be able to delete. And then NPCs to populate those. Currently I've got a collection of 13,000 plus NPCs. These are randomly generated with different races and everything. Actually, I think I have 10 of each race of the popular races: humans, halflings, half orcs, half elves, things like that. I do not recommend loading all 13,000 of these into your Obsidian. It took me like 4 hours to index them all, so you want to be careful with that. But you can try it, but otherwise pull in, small collections. I will be adding additional collections of NPCs, usually by race. So I'll have townsfolk elves, townsfolk halflings, and then you can just pull those NPCs in as you want. So each of those collections, just real quickly, I'm in Obsidian now. I have each of those collections located in my NPCs. I've got my settlements collection, I've got my wards collection, and I've got my professions collection, as you can see, and then my NPCs. I'm not going to click on that because it takes forever to load. But as you can see, I just have a whole bunch of professions. Basically, these are empty templates. For a ward. All my templates are, not all my templates, most of my templates are using Prostachio's templates. You can find him on Discord. He's got some great templates. I basically grabbed his templates. I did a little tweaking of them, but for the most part they're the same. Same with the kingdom templates. They have a whole bunch of pre-generated dynamics. Each one of these settlement templates has a population, and basically that's because I generate demographics based upon that population. So basically, if you want, a hamlet and you want to know what their demographics are for 188 people, you can grab that. Or if it's 200, anything within probably 20 on the smaller ones, 50 or even 100 on some of the larger ones, you can go. So let's just go how you would walk about doing this. Let's say your party's in Idlewood, and you spent the last week, preparing for this week's session, detailing Gilmere and Arior, and expecting them to head towards the capital city. But for some reason, they hear a who, and they want to go over to Horton. So they basically take a left turn on you, and it's just like, oh, okay, didn't prepare Horton. What am I going to do now? So down in your, realm. So this is the Lavara. So I'm in the realm of Lavara, the northern borderlands. I've got a town which is Norton, and as you can see, there's currently nothing in there. So I'm going to create a new note, and we're going to call it Horton. I use folder notes, so next time I click on this, it'll show it up underneath there, which is nice. And then I basically got to pick a population size. So based upon how big is this population. So I'm just going to pick 3,055, and open this up into a new link. So again, whichever population you want to try and get close, because it has all this demographic information that you're going to see in there. So we'll just copy that and paste it over here. And as you can see, if I just click on it, it's got all this information in there, a bunch of data view queries, but the main thing is the demographics for there. Now, the reason you don't want to edit this specific document is because if you get another settlement of about 30, 50, 3,000 people, you may want to use this. And rather than copy your existing city and then gutted out because you can't use the same NPCs. You can't use the same stores. You could, I guess. This you just copy this over, and it's basically an empty one ready to be populated with there. And so the demographics and such. So you can see we've got quite a list of demographics. If you go out and take a look at Don John's demographics, my numbers are close to his. So basically I created a sample town, same population, 3055. But he doesn't have as many demographics. So I went to different sources and pulled out, all the demographic professions I could sort of find and grouped them into categories and such. So where he has like 7 taverns, my number's slightly off from there. What he has also down at the bottom is other, so he's got 18 noble houses, 26 peacekeepers or guardsmen, 4 advocates, 54 clergymen, and 2 priests. So again, these are random number generators with some filler filled in there. And so if we look over at mine, okay, so I've got taverns. I've got 6 taverns. And then where he had 54 priests, I think it was, 54 clergymen and 2 priests. So I go in, if you look down here, I've got 7 priests, 13 preachers. I've got, 2 high priests or 3 high priests, 4 there. And then I've got clerics, 6 clerics. So that falls under all the clergymen. So again, the numbers don't match up 100%, and then I've got my advocates. I've got 4. I believe he had 5. No, he's got 4 advocates. So my numbers worked out that time. But they're not going to match up exactly. But again, I've got a lot different makers. Here's, I'm seeing a double one. So that's something I got to check. Actually, I'm seeing a couple doubles. But I'll get those fixed up in the templates and re-push them out once I get those fixed. So again, we've got my basic town settled here. So I'm just going to go in and edit the front matter. I put some generic names in here. Realm of Lavaria, just to have them fill out the template nice. Region is Northern Borderlands. Okay, we don't want it. It's not named large town. It's Horton. Okay, and it's not a marsh. It happens to be hilly woods. Okay, and it's got a default population. Now down here, here's all your demographics. There's a wards section where you can add the wards, but there's also a data query here, or a data view query, which will look for them as well. So what we want to do is we want to insert a generic ward or a ward for this. So I'm going to use my inline scripts now. And again, you do inline scripts by whatever your prefix is. Mine is the default, which is semicolon, semicolon. And if you come down here, you'll see my 3 scripts. Where is it? Get NPC, get profession. This is a subscript. You probably don't want to use that directly. I don't know how to unlink those. And get ward. So in our case, we're just going to get a ward. There's currently no parameters, but I may add a number. So if I want to add 3 wards, I don't have to do it 3 times. But it's not hard to do. So I just type that in as inline scripts. I'm not going to go over that. Josh has got a great video on that. And it brings up a typical ward or a ward template. So I'm just going to click on that. And it opens it up. And then I'm just going to start filling out this. So this is Realm of Lavara. It's in the Northern Borderlands. It's currently not assigned because that's how I determine how to select them. Basically anything that's not assigned. And then I'm going to go in Horton. It's got a name. I'm just going to, I want to copy that. And then a ward description. So then if I go back to Horton and we take a view of it, you can see notable places of interest. It brings up a ward. But also under our districts, it'll also list the ward. So points of interest could be wards or like a fountain or a tree or a graveyard. So there's other points of interests where the districts is strictly wards, districts, neighborhoods, things like that for there. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to, whoops, we got to be in edit mode. I'm going to grab that and I'm just going to throw that up here. Now you don't have to do this. It's just nice to sort of keep track of them in case somebody else wants to use your front matter or whatever, if you're sharing that. you can share it with other people for there. So again, oops. Oh, I did delete that. Okay, so again, we've got our temple. So now we're going to go to our ward that we generated. So again, if we click on that, you know, I don't have an overview put in there. And here's notable shops, points of interest. It automatically picks up itself. I've got to fix the template where it's not equal to itself, but that's minor data view. And notable characters. So again, I don't have anything assigned in here. So I'm just going to go down here, go into edit, and then we're going to go get profession. So again, if we go down into get professions, where is it? Right. Get professions. It tells you up at the, you know, the pop-up window, you know, basically get professions. I can pass in a profession type, or just have it random. So if I just want a random profession, I'll go here and say, give me a random profession. It brings me back a trading post. But in my case, I'm looking for a tavern because the party wants to stay somewhere. So first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, give me a tavern, : And it says, okay, tavern, the broken light pink crown. Cool. Okay. So then I'm going to open this guy. Click on him. Again, we're going to assign the default information. So realm of Lavara, northern borderlands. Currently not assigned as a settlement because that's again how I select, you know, professions that haven't been used, because you don't want to reuse a profession over in most cases. Settlement is Horton, and the ward name, what do we call it? Northeast Temple Center. So here we go. Northeast Temple Center. Temple Center. Yep, there we go. Okay, there's currently no owner assigned, so let's get an owner. So again, here's my scripts, get NPC, and in this case, I want and again, you can look up the syntax for this. Actually, I guess it doesn't come up in front matter. If you're down here, it brings it up. Yeah, so you can't do it in front matter. Or you can't get the documentation in front matter. You can run the script in there. So you can see I can get an NPC halfling and pass it a gender, or I can just say halfling, or I can just get a random. So if I just want a random NPC, I'll just go get NPC, and it brings me back a random PC. In this case, I want to get a NPC, and I want them to be human, and that's good enough for me. So again, that comes back. And then I'm going to paste, this is just because of the template, it wants that in a link, and it doesn't really need a link here, so we'll just get rid of there. So again, I've got that, so if I then, you know, take a view of this, I can see there's my NPC, so we'll drill into her. Is it a her? Was it a female? Nope, it's a male, Michaela. And again, we'll enter in the kingdom, realm, region is northern borderlands, settlement is Horton, and this was Northeast Temple Center. Northeast Temple Center. Okay. So if we take a quick look at that, where is it? We'll go there and then just click back. Why is it not picking up? Oh, because I didn't put that in. Sorry. There's a tavern keeper. I always keep forgetting that was in. So again, primary occupation, and that's a hostler. Basically people who take care of other people. And I think that will. Yeah, there it picks it up. So again, it has you know, a general description with I didn't have to pull in. It's got general traits, you know, defaulted. It's got goals, you know. So it pulls in a lot of information, my NPCs. It's not going to have everything. The guilds aren't going to be correct because, again, I just randomly put in some guilds. But now we can go back to Horton. And let's take a look at this. And so there's our demographics. And This takes a second to load. Okay, you can see I've got the Northeast Temple and notable shops because there's currently only one. It's, you know, it brings in the shop we created, and notable points of interests. Again, I think I need to tweak this a little bit. It doesn't pull in the NPC because at a city level, the tavern keepers probably aren't important. But let's take a look at this guy or girl. Actually, it was the guy, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, he's got an importance of 5. I'm going to boost that up to 6. Say he's a little bit more. He's, you know, from the prominent temple from there. And you can see he comes into here. So in this template, I say basically if you have an importance of 5 or greater, I'm gonna keep you in here because you'll want to see the mayor, maybe the captain of the guards, things like that. Whereas you don't want to see, you know, the farmer down the street, because if you have a whole bunch of these detailed, you're going to have a long list here. So again, if we drill into the ward, oops, you know, the ward has the information, and again, points of interest and the keeper. You know, so it allows you to break things down with wards and stuff like that, but some towns may not even have them. So that's pretty much it. Again, it's just the collections of data that you can use and pull in with some inline scripts. So again, I've got 3 inline scripts: get NPC, get profession, get ward, which basically looks for unused wards, unused professions, and unused, basically unassigned NPCs. Now there are some paths that you need to specify within those scripts, basically wherever your collections are stored. In my case, it's worlds, my world name, Savoria, world stuff, NPCs. So basically that's this path here. You know, professions and wards are the other 2 paths. So each script, you'll have to edit the path in there where to find things, and that pulls it out. I'm not going to go into that. Josh, again, has a good quick video on that, how to do that. But basically, you just got to edit that one line. It should pick it up. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please fill out comments below, and I'll try and answer them as possible. Thank you.